It's Tuesday, October 7th.
I lost my brother. I have one brother. He was my only brother, 3.5 years younger than me. He was my anchor in life.
Families and survivors mourn the people killed or taken hostage during the October 7th attacks 2 years ago today.
I'm going to ask you about tariffs because a lot of companies from Canada are moving into the United States, you know.
Prime Minister Mark Carney expected to bring up tariff relief during his White House visit today, but it remains to be seen if any concessions from U.S. President Donald Trump are coming.
It's Canadian. Keep it on the shelves.
This is getting beyond ridiculous now.
Smirnoff could be the next bottle of booze pulled from Ontario liquor shelves if a planned closure of a bottling facility in the province goes ahead.
It's a burden in a sense that logistics are a little tough to navigate.
Support is everything in a situation like this.
It's day 2 of a strike by more than 51,000 members of the Alberta Teachers Association. It's the largest labor walkout the province has ever seen. Stay with us, Canada. Your morning starts right now. Good morning, Canada. Welcome to Your Morning. I'm Anne-Marie Mediwake.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Lindsey Deluce.
I'm Kelsey McEwen. Thanks for starting your morning off with us.
And it is October the 7th. That is where we're going to start in news because commemorations are taking place this morning, marking 2 years since the October 7th attacks. At the site of the Nova Music Festival, people are reflecting on the horror that unfolded 2 years ago. Here's a live look at that site. That, of course, is when Hamas launched a series of surprise attacks in southern Israel. So memorials today are taking place remembering the victims of those attacks. 1,200 people were killed by Hamas. 251 people were taken hostage. The sound of explosions in Gaza this morning. According to the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry, over the past 2 years, more than 67,000 people have been killed by Israel's military campaign in response to the Hamas attacks. Blockades and continued strikes have been fueling the humanitarian crisis in the territory. In Egypt today, Israel and Hamas are expected to resume indirect talks, aiming to reach a possible Gaza ceasefire. Sources close to the negotiations say there was progress made yesterday. The first phase of the U.S. proposed plan would establish a ceasefire and see hostages released in exchange for Palestinian detainees. Prime Minister Mark Carney will meet with U.S. President Donald Trump at the White House today.
The conversation will center on trade issues and what we want to do to protect Canadian industries and Canadian workers.
Prime Minister Carney is expected to push U.S. President Donald Trump for some tariff relief before CUSMA comes under review next year. We did find out last night that Energy Minister Tim Hodgson will be part of the delegation. What does that mean? Well, it does suggest natural resources will be part of the talks. This is Prime Minister Mark Carney's second visit to the Oval Office in less than 6 months. Meanwhile, medium and heavy-duty trucks headed into the U.S. will soon face a 25% tariff.
Could be fire trucks, could be buses. And so we'll get a sense of whether this affects Ontario or Manitoba and Ontario or Manitoba, Ontario, and Quebec.
U.S. President Donald Trump made the announcement with a November 1st start date. So last month, President Trump said heavy truck imports would face new duties on national security grounds, saying the new tariffs were to protect manufacturers from, quote, unfair outside competition. Mexico, by the way, is the largest exporter of medium and heavy-duty trucks to the United States. And more booze could be stripped from the shelves of Ontario liquor stores if plans to shut down a Crown Royal bottling facility in the province go ahead.
We do over $765 million, more than any jurisdiction anywhere in the U.S. or in Canada. And they want to close down a plant over what, $8 million of wages they think they're going to save?
Following news in August that the Amherstburg bottling plant would close, Ontario Premier Doug Ford repeatedly lashed out at Diageo. Remember this move? The company makes Crown Royal and other well-known brands, including Guinness, Baileys, Smirnoff, and Captain Morgan. The plant employs 200 people. It has been operating for nearly 100 years, a century. Pretty remarkable. The company says the closure is part of a plan to streamline its North American supply chain. Premier Ford said he will be looking at removing Smirnoff from store shelves next. Parents in Alberta are juggling work and childcare for a second day today as the teachers' strike continues.
Kind of rearrange my shifts around, and logistics are tough.
I've been definitely getting a lot of calls and texts, just parents asking me to help babysit their kids because they don't have childcare to help.
51,000 members of the Alberta Teachers Association are on strike. This is the largest labor walkout the province has ever seen. It means more than 740,000 students across 2,500 schools do not have a classroom to go to today. Despite the inconvenience, many families are supporting the teachers. Some students in southern Alberta held a rally showing their support. The teachers are asking for better wages, more supports, and smaller classroom sizes. Police in Quebec are looking for the person who left a baby born premature at the doorstep at a home in Longueuil.
The police officer and the paramedic transported the baby at the hospital rapidly, and they gave him some care. Fortunately, the baby is in good condition.
Police say the baby, who was born at 34 weeks, was abandoned on Sunday night. Police spent yesterday going door to door in the neighborhood looking for anything, clues, trying to find or identify the parents. In Quebec, a conviction for child abandonment carries a maximum prison sentence of 5 years. If you have any information, please contact 911. In a historic first, renewable energy is now the world's leading source of electricity.
This indicates that fossil fuels no longer need to grow to meet our appetite for electricity.
According to new analysis, worldwide solar and wind power generation increased faster than the growth of electricity demand in the first 6 months of the year. It also shows renewable energy sources are expanding fast enough to meet global increases in power needs. The report, released by energy think tank Ember, also found that for the first time on record, renewable energy sources generated more power than coal. The findings suggest it is possible for the world to wean off polluting sources of power, even as the demand for electricity skyrockets. There is a new book out today about the life of John Candy. The new biography delves into the private battles John Candy faced while away from the cameras. Toronto author Paul Myers wrote the book, saying he didn't set out to dig up dirt, but wanted to know more about the creative drive that led to John Candy's performances. The book is called John Candy, A Life in Comedy. It includes interviews with many of John Candy's famous friends, including Tom Hanks, Dan Aykroyd, Catherine O'Hara, and Dave Thomas.